Hi all, and welcome to another video log entry. It's been a little while since the last one, it's been a couple of months. A few domestics just to cover first as to why that is. It sort of felt like it was getting into a vein of where I was trying to upload a video a week and there wasn't really a lot to say, and I was kind of scrabbling around for stuff to say. At the same time, I was finding that my actual hard copy written blog was going really well, and I wasn't struggling for anything to say there, but I was also struggling a fair amount with my creative writing projects, which I always like to keep going. So long story short, I decided to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, so to speak, although killing birds isn't good, so let's just say that those birds are clay pigeons, and therefore no actual birds have been killed or harmed during the making of this video, yet, and don't intend them to be. By doing this, I am, from this point, going to be scrapping the sort of hard copy electronic written word, is what I'm looking for there, the written word Cookies Corner blog, converting it into these videos. So the kind of personal outtake on pop culture and sort of cultural media that I used to do in the written blogs is now going to be done on here. Now that's going to free up a lot more time for writing. It's hopefully going to free up a lot more of my energy for writing creatively, and set the ball rolling on that. It's going to give me something to talk about on these videos, and it's just going to help things out creatively in general, I think. So yeah, point 1 on the domestics, you're going to be seeing more videos, less blogs, and the videos are going to be more targeted. You will also notice that, unlike previous videos, both of my hands are visible here. That's because, no, I've not finally gone out and got myself a webcam, but I have devised a very clever way of standing the iPhone up and propping it up against something on the shelf just behind the computer so it can face me. Of course, this is the point, like 2 seconds after saying that, when the iPhone is going to fall flat down like that onto the screen and probably snap in half and cost me about 600 quid. Well, 400 quid. Well, something like that anyway. No, not going to do that. No. Fate's being nice to me. Yeah, so there you go. Decided to stay up there. Must have positioned it quite well. So that's quite good, because it means that I feel a bit more comfortable. My arms aren't getting tired through sitting here going like that. Yes, peeps, I actually used to sit there and go like that. And I'll feel a bit more comfortable doing the blogs that way. Because I did feel that the old ones felt a little bit forced because I wasn't in a comfortable position and I was sort of holding it all up and weird. As previously, obviously there is the whole eyesight thing. So if the framing's out, if the lighting's out, if I'm cutting off the top of my head or one side of my face, I wouldn't mind if it's that side because that's the sort of puffy iPhone, but who knows. Or I've got a little halo from that light up there or anything like that, though I try to turn the camera around. Let me know, try and give me tips on how to resolve it, but the chances are it's not going to be easy for me to resolve because I can't really sort of see what I'm doing. But I'm always open to feedback. So anyway, today's entry, what I will be doing from this point on is renaming the video logs as Cookies Video Corner. It's a better title, isn't it? I've never liked the video log title. So today's Cookies Video Corner, maybe need a theme tune, suggestions please. I want to talk a bit about books. It was World Book Day earlier this week. World Book Day is something quite important for me. I mean, you get a lot of these sort of days bandied around, don't you? I mean, I made rather a jokey big deal of International Sibling Day last year and bought my sister a chunky Kit Kat to make a little bit of a joke of it. And you get international days for everything and stuff, don't you? World Wear Your Pants on Your Head Day, World Sock Puppet Day, and all the rest of it. But World Book Day is actually very important because books contain knowledge, and if there's one thing that we do need to be doing, it's encouraging more people to read, because a lot of people don't, and there's a lot of ignorance around books, and that can't be healthy, in my view. So stemming out of that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my relationship with books. When I was growing up, I always had my nose in a book. All the time. I'd read all the time. I'd never be without a book on the go. The minute I finished one, I'd start another one. And that carried on for a fair while, into adulthood. Then in about 2006, April, May of that year, I found I was getting quite frustrated reading hard copy, because I was squinting more and more at the page. There were words I couldn't see, and I was going through quite a tough time generally at that point, because my sight had deteriorated and there were other things going on in my life that weren't very good. And so I just stopped reading. I stopped my love of books. For 5 years I must have only picked up 3 or 4 books in anger, sort of on audio. I properly fell out of love with it. And then fast forward 4.5 years, Christmas 2010, a friend got me a copy on CD of Steve Larsen's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And I sort of opened it on Christmas Day and I thought, oh, that's nice. I've not really read a lot lately, but I'll put it to one side and give it a go at some point. And I wasn't overly enthusiastic, I'll admit. And then about a week later, on New Year's Eve, I thought, well, I'll give it a little go and start it. I put disc 1 of a 17-disc book, unabridged, into the CD player, and I'd finished the book within 2.5 days. It just reinvigorated my love of them and brought me back to it properly. And since that point, I've been reading on audiobooks, properly playing catch up. I mean, there is 5 years worth of reading to catch up on, so I go at it like a man possessed. I'm looking like a little Tasmanian devil, sort of whirling away with a sort of book in my hand, and just really engaging with it all. It took quite a while to adapt to audio. It's very different between reading something in your own voice in your head and having somebody else's voice read it to you. A lot of the time it depends upon whose voice that is. Some people are better readers than others, and it takes a fair bit of adapting to get to that point, but I eventually did it. And I mean, now I'm at a stage where I was working it out earlier this year. So far, bearing in mind we're only 9 or 10 weeks into it, I've read 21 books on audio. So that's 2 or 3 books a week I'm reading. And I just can't get enough. I've got a little contract with an audiobook site, and I get a couple of free books a month, and there's more I can kind of pay for, and I'm just loving it. So, I mean, in true Cookie style,